Hello friends, I'm Col Chahal, and in this video we will be discussing about certain so-called trick questions or questions that you may find difficult to handle during your personal interview in the SSB, with the caveat that the answers that I give is just a suggestion, and naturally you'll have to frame your own answers to these questions. So the first question, which usually you find it difficult to handle, is when the interviewing officer tells you, please tell me 3 negative qualities of your father or your friend or even you yourself. So you find it a little difficult or you're a little hesitant to answer this question. Now the reason why interviewing officer is asking you this question is to primarily check how much self-aware are you. So naturally, if a person is more self-aware, his trainability will be higher. He'll be able to become a better version of himself if he works on him, only if he knows what needs to be corrected in him. And the second reason why he would ask you this question is that he wants to gauge your social intelligence. So when he asks you this question that, tell me some negative qualities of your father, how do you tactfully handle this question and you tell him the answer which is genuine? So the way you should handle this question is that you must always start on a positive note. Never start with talking about the gray areas or the negative qualities. Always start on a positive note by saying that, sir, my father is my role model and he's an amazing person and I really love him and respect him a lot. However, and then you highlight what needs to be corrected, because see, nobody in this world is perfect. And so is your father. So all of us can become a better versions of ourselves. And if you're able to highlight those, it will be nice. And therefore, when you highlight that, it should be highlighted in certain moderate words and it should be highlighted in a tactful manner. So you could say something like, sir, that he is an amazing person. However, if he was a little more careful about his diet and he overworks himself, and if he was careful about his health, I think it will be nice. I always keep telling him that. Or something like, if he could spend little more time with us because he is very, very busy with his work, I think that will be a good thing for us. So that way, you are highlighting what can make him a better parent or a better person. But at the same time, you should highlight why he does it also. You could say that, sir, he is working very hard for all of us. I understand that. And he's very conscientious about his duties. But still, if he could find a little more time for us, it will be better. So, ऐसे करके साथ में ही बताओ कि उनकी क्या मजबूरी है because of which he's doing so and so. And same goes for your friends also and even you yourself. So, highlight those points which you feel are areas of improvement, rather than calling them negative qualities or weaknesses. So when you highlight an area of improvement, also alongside you're telling what needs to be done or what could be done to correct it, then naturally it shows that you understand why that person is exhibiting that particular behavior. That also shows your social intelligence. The second question that many times you find difficult to handle is that when you are asked that why was there a drop in your percentage from your 10th to 12th, although your percentage in the graduation was all right, but what happened from 10th to 12th? Now, when you answer this question, do not sound as if you are giving an excuse. A lot of people do that because I participated in games, I did that, I did this. So it sounds more like an excuse. So it is always good to start by admitting that you could have done better. So start by saying that, sir, I feel at hindsight that I could have been a little more careful with my time management. Actually, I was very, very passionate about football and I used to spend a lot of time in the football field. In fact, we had camps where I missed some of my classes and because of that, I lagged behind in my studies. Or you could, talk about some subjects that you found difficult. I found maths to be a little tough, although I did my best. I even took tuitions, but I could not score very high marks in maths, and because of which my overall percentage came down. Or it could be, a change of station, a change of school, change of medium of teaching. It could also be sometimes, that you have some domestic issues. But whatever things that you highlight, whatever issues that you highlight, should never sound as if you're giving an excuse. It should be sounding like a genuine reason, and you should not defend it if assessor says that no, you could have done this. The interview officer tells you that you had this other option also. So you should admit it, and you should not kind of say that nahi, main to, because of this I could not do it at all. So there are always ways and means of doing things better, and it is good to look at those reasons and also highlight those reasons when you indicate why you could not do well in a particular subject, or why you couldn't score high marks, or why there was a drop in percentage when you went from 10th to 12th. But at the same time, you must say that what were the learnings from that failure, and how that you understood that academic marks are very important, and that you started putting in more effort, and because of which in the graduation I did score high marks. So when he says that, okay, graduation mein you did score reasonably good, but still you did not score 80-90%, then you got to highlight why. Maybe the marking system in the college is different. Nobody scores 90% theirs perhaps. So you could say that the highest mark in my class was so much, and I was amongst the first 10. So the percentage was not, although the percentage was low, but overall in the class I was able to perform reasonably well, because the marking system in our university is so and so. So this is how you should be able to justify. Do not feel guilty. Do not try and give excuses when you're answering this question. The third trick question, or the question that you find it difficult to handle, is when you ask certain personal questions like, tell me if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or sometimes you may be asked about whether you drink occasionally or not. So when you ask this question, once again, the intention of the interviewing officer is to get to know that are you focused towards your primary goal. So your bread and butter as a student is to work hard and do well in your academics and make sure that your future is secured. So for that reason, he would be asking you these questions, that are you getting waylaid? So when you answer this question, once again, do not give a yes or no answer. You have to give an answer which is kind of socially desirable. So something like this, you could say that, sir, although we are a big group of friends in college, we have boys and girls in that, but I am not into a relationship with anybody, because I feel right now it is my age to work hard and settle down in life, rather than getting involved in relationships. So rather than saying that no, I don't have a girlfriend, it is good to say that I have girls who are friends. We are a big group where there are boys and girls, but since this is my time to settle down in life and do well for myself, my primary focus is towards my academics and doing well, and that is why I feel that this is not the right time for me to get into any relationships. Secondly, also when he asks you about whether you drink or not, naturally if you don't drink, then you can always tell him that you don't. But if you have had a drink once in a while, or maybe during your college farewell, or on some such occasion that you had, there is no harm in saying that, sir, I wanted to just try out. I even informed my parents, so there is nothing that I've hidden from anybody. So I just wanted to taste it, and I did try it once or twice, but then I'm not really into the habit of drinking. So I maybe once in a blue moon, if there is an occasion, I may have a drink or two, but I make sure that I do not exceed any limits. So ऐसे करके something which sounds genuine, and be honest, but at the same time make sure that you are socially desirable when you're giving this response. So there'll be another question which the interviewing officer asks you, and you may find it difficult to handle, is that sometimes he'll tell you, whom are you closer with? Is it with your mother or your father at home, or your siblings? Sometimes he'll ask you that also. So once again, when you're answering this question, he wants to know your basic interpersonal relations. Sometimes he will even know how many friends do you have in your school or your college. So once again, he wants to know about your interpersonal relations. So once again, when you're giving an answer to this, rather than just saying father or mother, it may be a good idea to say that, sir, we are a very closely knit family, and I can't think of whom I'm closer with. I'm closer with everybody, I feel. But since my father keeps very busy, usually for things that I need to immediately get a clearance about, I usually ask my mother. And but otherwise, it is just because she is available at home more often that I'm able to share whatever that I have in my mind with her. But it is not that I hide anything from my father. I'm equally close to my father as well. So similarly, when he's saying how many friends do you have, so rather than just listing out 3, 4, 5, whatever, you could say that, sir, I'm a very friendly person and I have a lot of friends in my college or your school. But however, I'm closer to whatever 3, 4, as many that you are closer to. So you can list that out rather than saying that you just have 2 friends or 3 friends. Start by saying that you're a friendly person and that you have a lot of friends in your college. So this is how you could answer this question. So there are some other trick questions also which we will take up in the next video. So all the best. Looking forward to seeing you again. God bless you.